I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. Anyway, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Super EZA Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta did get an Extreme Z Awakening, of course, our Super EZA. He's not out yet in game. I do expect that we'll see other EZA details later tonight for like the other characters, such as the GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the Super Baby 2, Physical Pan, like all basically those second anniversary characters are getting EZAs. In fact, I have the image right here. But we did get the EZA details for the, again, AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but also the Texan STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the STR Omega Shenron. Now, I want to make another follow-up video talking specifically about Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, because it seems like we were wrong, right? And how good actually we thought Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was, which is a bit funny. So, Global Dokkan is stupid, right? I think that's just kind of like where we can kind of come down to it. Global Dokkan's very dumb. Global Dokkan makes a lot of mistakes, and that's fine. You know, sometimes things aren't always going to be the thing like that you would really like it to be. And I'm pulling up another character just for a comparison when we actually talk about this. But so how Global Dokkan, what happened a very long time ago, right? Back in the old days of Dokkan, there's these character kits. They were written in a way where, again, like as the first or second attacker in the turn, you get this ability. As the third attacker in the turn, you get this ability, right? That was always a thing in old Dokkan, right? And it didn't actually change until we got AGL Jacko. AGL Jacko was the character who released, and if you guys remember, like a lot of these older characters such as God, Goku, and Hit before their Extreme Z Awakening, they had the high chance to dodge in their passive skill as the first or second attacker in the turn, which again, we could literally translate here. If you attack first or second, high chance to dodge, right? That's kind of like the rough Google translation essentially, but you guys will get the point. What happens is this actually, unfortunately, was an ability that allowed you not to be able to get these stats until after you attacked in the first or second slot, which is very annoying for not just being able to have these high chance to dodge here, unfortunately. And then this right here as the third attacker in the turn, again, he had the key 7 and 70% attack. There's a lot of issues with this regardless. Like again, having to actually attack first as the first or second attacker, right? And this specifically is kind of the difference here. Now, they changed that post AGL Jacko, right? AGL Jacko is a character who released, and they differentiated being the first or second attacker or being the first or second position in the turn, which again, we see that there is this change right here for the LR God, Goku, and Hits when you're in first or second place. This is a difference because it's not as the first or second attacker. It is if you're in the first or second spot in the rotation. And how this works is it ends up being a start of turn ability that you do get. So for example, the 16% chance to dodge and I believe critical hit chance, or it's damage reduction, I believe, right? Yeah. This activates before they would attack, because how it works is you collect the orbs, and then when the turn starts, it basically activates as a starter turn passive. So you don't actually have to attack here, because again, specifically, it's if you're in the first or second spot, compared to before this guy's EZA. You see the kanji is again different, and again, we'll actually like literally place it side by side here just so you guys could look at it, right? And again, this is very important for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta because of the fact that he again has this discrepancy where, well, okay, there's basically, well, again, just attacking, right? And then we see post awakening. We take a look here. Actually, it's from here onward. Okay, well, it's not like you guys see the kanji is different right here. Like the most important thing is that it's different from here and here, right? And that kind of is what sort of happened with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, where, well, I think the reason why there's this confusion is because if we look at the global version of this EZA for the God, Goku, and Hit, which again we saw pre-ZA and post-ZA, the actual text right here changed from as the first or second attacker to in the first or second spot. But Global never made this differentiation. Global never sat down and was like, hey, this is actually a different passive. So this first or second attacker in the turn stay the exact same. This should be as the first or second when this character is placed in the first or second position in a turn. That's what it should be, not the first or second attacker. But because they never made this differentiation, when you read global Dokkan details, you don't know if this is actually, let's say, a multiplicative buff or a buff that would be activated at the start of turn, or if it's a buff that you would only get after attacking compared to like you would be able to have that buff against AoEs. And that's where we come to Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. As the second or third attacker in a turn, he had 100% attack and defense. Now, how these passives are usually kind of worded now, most of the time, this is in the fashion of being a start of turn buff after you collect the key spheres, where you will get that defensive buff. You won't see it kind of start a turn, which is a little weird, but it'll activate basically once the turn starts. But it won't be like a phase 2 buff where it's multiplied against basic effects or anything like this, right? Anything else start of turn. And the issue with Vegeta is that having no phase 2 buffs dramatically lowers the actual defensive numbers you're at. So we saw this Vegeta capping out at like 1.7 mil defense with 30% reduction, which is garbage, unrunnable, terrible, completely mediocre trash, just not good at all. To the point where he wasn't able to tank normals. And you know, I was sitting around like, you know, this guy is like into Goku Black tier, bad. But then I decided, hey, let me actually take a look here on the JP side. You know, I saw comments like, imagine if he has if this is phase 2 like accidentally, and I was like, actually that might be a thing, because it wouldn't make sense for him to be so bad compared to Goku if they like, because I think at the bare minimum Dokkan does like calculations of what the characters do. Sometimes I feel like they don't actually use the characters, but they look at the bare numbers of what the character is doing, and seeing Goku being so much better than Vegeta just didn't make sense to me. So again, I saw Vegeta has the when attacking specified in here rather than being again as the first or second attacker. So this 100% attack and defense is actually a multiplicative buff, with all that being said. And the reason why I wanted to explain that whole history is just like so you guys know why this is a thing for the future. And it is something we should unfortunately have to keep a lookout for the future, because of the fact that Global Dokkan is, again, funny enough, this is written the way that it should be, but it's other characters that aren't written the way that it should be that's the mistake. Vegeta is technically correct, like in these translations. These are correct translations, but Global doesn't differentiate between being the first or second position and the first or second attacker, just as an example, right? So that's where the mistakes came in for this guy. And again, like, he would technically be weaker against AoE attacks, because now this 100% attack and defense won't activate until after he attacks, compared to working against AoEs. But he's gonna be way stronger post super attack, compared to, like, he doesn't lose that much defense start of turn, but the difference between the supers, like post super, is incredibly massive. It's very important, the difference that there is, because it's essentially going from just getting, I don't know, let's say he'd probably get maybe like another 100k defense to basically doubling his defense after attacking. Like, it is a pretty significant difference there. So again, I wanted to make an apology video, because again, I basically called him Int Goku Black reincarnate, because he was just, I mean, he was really bad. He was really bad. Like, it was to the point where, I mean, I'm running S tier Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta over the Vegeta we thought Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was. Like, this guy's better. Like, that's how bad he was. That's how terribly awful he was. Because he had like 1.7 mil defense, but that's with like 140% defense support from Gogeta. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? Now he's going to be looking a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at Luke. Luke did go ahead and make these calculations. Do not be alarmed. These are not calculations. But that, again, that's just a little funny joke here. So let's take a look here. Thank you, Luke. Luke used to do calculations, and you know, I trust him. So this is 2100 defense. Keep in mind, Vegeta could actually get more defense and skill orbs. Funny enough, he can reach 2700. So I think this is honestly fair, just whatever. Next to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So versus normals, and then in quotations, it's super attacks specifically. So Vegeta with double Gogeta support. So like, let's say this would be like a turn 2 Vegeta, turn 3 Vegeta. Start of turn defense, he's at 758k. Nothing crazy, but again, this is enough to kind of like, he'll be okay against Goku Black AoEs early on in the fight. Once Goku Black AoE start hitting really hard, this guy will definitely be in trouble. But we'll see. I mean, again, the point about this character is that you ideally will have him in the second or third attacker spot. So if you're able to throw him in slot 3, you could pretty much, I mean, arguably, you might just not even like, you get him on the second turn and then you throw him in slot 3. You literally might not see him for the rest of the fight. He just really needs to be safe on that first turn for him. First super attack, post super, he's at 2.2 million defense, which is already higher than his defense previously. With a double super last time, like he was at 1.7 mil from the calculations we saw. With one super, he's already 500k extra defense higher. Then again, he has the additional with a 70% chance to be a super. That shoots him up to 3 million defense with 30% reduction. Then 3 super attacks, he's at 3.7 with 30 mil reduction. And again, these numbers, again, people are, the second thing I'm confused about, people are looking at these characters like the Super Saiyan 4s and they're like, man, they can't tank the supers. Like, they can't tank these 9 mil supers. Who can? What characters tanks these 9 mil supers? Let's take a look here. All the characters that can do it. I think Omega can sometimes. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta can sometimes. Fusion Zamasu in certain situations, very certain situations. Goku Black in certain situations. Maybe you could dodge, but again, like, I'm not counting like, again, dodging. There's like characters that can face tank the supers because these two have, both Super Saiyan 4s have 50% chances to counter the supers or nullify them essentially, which would be the same as physical VB. But I see no one, I see no one like trash talking physical VB. I think obviously one of the big differences is that VB can be ran in slot 3. A lot of people don't like that Goku has to be ran in slot 2. That's a whole other topic. With Goku, a lot of people were like, man, I would rather run AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku in rotation, like the 10th anniversary LAR. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point, but you're not going to have AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku out instantly in all situations. And you are, like, most of the time, you'll benefit from having Super Saiyan 4 Goku be a viable slot 2 option, or even in certain situations, can be runnable in slot 1. Because of the fact that there's, again, always going to be locking around, right? If Goku gets locked in slot 3, obviously that's, you know, a bit disappointing, but like, the chances that Goku would be able to be put in like slot 1 or slot 2 is a lot better than him specifically having to end up in slot 3 and getting locked in slot 3. Ideally, he doesn't have to go in slot 1, but again, maybe you could even have a turn where the Great Ape Goku was around, and then you kind of just like have Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the middle. You had the 10% extra reduction anyways, and like, you know, I don't think it's nearly as bad as people are making it out to be with the S-tier Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku is not even going to be out most of the time anyways, I feel like. And the biggest thing about him is that, again, he has the turn where he cancels the supers anyways. So again, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is not going to be in trouble if you cancel the super attacks, transform that turn in Super Saiyan 4 AGL Goku, and then you're still able to float the SDR one off because he's able to live the normal still, right? And like in 9 out of 10 situations, and if you have to live the normals, like by the time you have AGL Super Saiyan 4 out, again, you have to still go through 2 other whole turns essentially, and then the boss is probably dead at that point. unless it's specifically a turn 1 scenario, which is almost not possible to get. Like, it has to be turn 2 onward, because you're not going to enter the fight already under 70% HP. Again, but yeah, Vegeta, I mean, even against supers, like 5.6 mil, 30% reduction if he gets a triple super. Like, he's actually able to live Zamasu super, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we'll literally, let me bring up the Dokkan damage taking calculator. And again, this is with like less like defense than what we usually would be able to see. But let's bring up Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta versus Zamasu Super. Zamasu is obviously type disadvantage, but it'll be good to see, like, okay, if Vegeta would get a triple super, which is definitely not going to be an uncommon occurrence, Vegeta's AGL, he has a 70% chance to super. I really wish it was a guaranteed super, though. That's a bit dumb, but like, okay, let's take a look here. It'll actually be stage 1. So Zamasu here, right? He doesn't get any extra stats, so it's 4.8 mil, right? So, let me bring this up. 4800000. Let's say Vegeta only got 2 supers, right? So that's 3. He would have 4.5 mil, right? So 455, 3, 3, 4, 6 with 30% reduction. It's a tech extreme class character. Vegeta's taking 562k still, which is definitely a lot, but it's a type disadvantaged super that he is able to just live, like, just straight off the gate. And that's not considering him getting a triple super. If he would get a triple super attack, it does also not considering any other support he would have, if he would even get supered in the first place, by the way. 5, 6, 9, 1, 6, 8, 2. Like, he's wait, I'm missing something. 5, 6, 9, 1. I forgot the 9. I was like, why is he taking that much? Double digits here from Zamasu super type disadvantage. And people are saying, like, these characters are bad, by the way. Like, they have a 50% chance to just straight up counter the supers anyways. Now, Goku Black, he's okay. Like, let's say Vegeta against a 6 million or like a 7 million super, but then he's type neutral. 27k if he triple supers. Vegeta, he's taking 27k from a 7 mil super. That's extreme class too. If it was super class, he would actually take double digits. Obviously, like, if we do like Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's 9 mil super, this guy is actually taking. Actually, he could still theoretically live because you have enough HP. Like, I don't know. Vegeta, obviously, again, I have to apologize to Vegeta. He doesn't even max equips. I have to apologize to him because I slandered his name because of the global Dokkan's faulty translations. But like, you guys are literally seeing here, like, these are just the numbers. These are just the numbers. 1 second, hold up. I got a text message from someone, but I have to reply real quick. Like, these are just the pure, these are just the pure numbers, right? So, I mean, I think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, again, 9 mils thrown around. I don't know the exact number. He probably would still get one shot, I think, by the end, when we consider damage variance, and probably by that point, a lot of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta support is gone. But like, I mean, like, just a flat email super, he double digit tanks. If he has to get a triple super, of course. But like, okay, let's say without a triple super, 4, 5, 5, 3, 3, 4, 6. He's taking 1 mil damage. So like, he would have to get a triple super there. But he can still counter it. And then guess what? He's perfectly fine against normal. So I really, I don't know. I wanted to make this follow-up video here. And again, like, they could face tank a lot of supers still, both the Super Saiyan 4s. Goku is even, like, Goku could look better defensively, in fact, which is really funny. Goku can actually look better defensively with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta support and stuff like that. Especially if he gets a lot of these stacks in, which he could very easily get a lot of these stacks in. But they have the 50% counter chance. They're not intended to face tank every single super in the game. People need to understand. Most of these characters can't. I mean, Rose could die to some supers. Blue Goku could die to some supers. Omega can as well. Gogeta's like the one character that doesn't die to supers. But in very specific situations, he takes a lot of damage from normals. Like, these characters are not being designed to be perfect in every scenario. What character out right now is always like every single situation able to live? Every single situation. None. No characters like that right now. Like AGO Vegeta, when you get Gogeta out, he's really good, but this AGO Vegeta on his first turn could get absolutely creamed. Goku has a weakness against AoEs. Like a lot of these characters, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Goku could take a lot of damage if he doesn't get some dodges off. He's, again, really good with the Grade 8, but like, none of these characters are perfect right now. Like, all these characters, there's like checks and balances now, which it makes the game, in my opinion, I don't know, it makes the game more interesting to me, because I go in these fights not knowing if I actually am going to win. Like, I don't like the idea of being able to team build to have a guaranteed win like that. I do like having it feel like there's stakes. Like, obviously, I do want to get benefited for having smart team building. That's going to always be a thing, but I don't want it to be where I instantly win either. I want to have kind of fun, you know, with these characters. It does not in an annoying way either, but you guys kind of get the point. So, anyways, I just felt like talking about it here and like kind of just bringing this up. I think the easy Super Saiyan 4s are underrated. I think people still think they're really bad, and I made that video earlier. People are still commenting these characters are terrible, like, you know, they're really bad. Goku's locked in slot 2. That's unfortunate. Like, I could literally bring up probably but I'm gonna bring up like the video in here. We're gonna take a look at some of the comments. Again, 30% reduction is fine if they would be guarding. Bosses hitting way too hard, but like they have, yeah, having a counter doesn't justify them to having guard. They're not meant to, like, if they would live every single super attack, their counter chance wouldn't have gone up. It would still just stay 30% probably. Like, dude, most, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Obviously, like, would it be better if these characters could just face tank the supers and have a chance to counter? Yeah, that would be really cool. That would be awesome. But that's not what they're going for. These are super easy A's. These are characters that released in 2017 as well, right? And they're still very competitive, by the way, and they can still live these super attacks for 0 damage because they have a 50% chance to straight up take 0 damage from it. Like, what would be the point of that counter? Like, I don't know. The hardest fights in the game, they don't give you a chance to stack up defense like that. They're talking about Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku, like, these fights don't hit 9 million turn 1, guys. Goku Black hits for like, what, 5 mil turn 1? If he would super Goku specifically. Zamasu hits for less than 5 mil. Goku builds up his defense. Like, if you get to triple super, he has enough defense to live the supers. Like, I think his Zamasu super, he would actually be able to live in a turn 1 scenario. Goku Black super, he would have to counter it, but he has the chance to counter it. And it's not like, you know, I could maybe see the issue if like we had like kind of attempt limits, but we don't either have attempt limits as well. So yeah, both of them are in limo. If they get super, you have a 50% chance to live or get crushed. Well, again, yeah, it's a thing of they don't want you to have a guaranteed win with all these teams. Like, the game should actually, like, the game is in a good spot when it's challenging. That's my opinion, though. Like, if difficult fights should actually be difficult. If it was like they're holding back, you got Texo who can get up to... Okay, this is another thing about the damage reduction. I feel like I got this comment here. Where is it? 30% reduction in 2025. The damage reduction number doesn't matter if the defense number is high enough. Like, you guys, some people I feel like don't understand that. I don't blame them because, like, you look at it on paper, it's like 30% reduction. That's terrible. Like, if they would have 30% reduction in the normal defense numbers, a lot of characters do, yeah. but they have the counter. They have pretty good defense for the amount of reduction they have still. And again, we saw with Vegeta, Vegeta is living, like if he gets a triple super, Vegeta lives 8 mil super attacks for double digits. I showed that on the screen right there, right? Obviously that's with double Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta support, but that's where you're intended to run those characters. They're supposed to be additions to the GT Heroes team. Like, damage, like if a unit could have, I'm gonna bring up examples. Where is it? Like Fusion Zamasu caps out like at 2.5 mil defense, 2.7 mil defense, right? Like he has up to 60% reduction, right? Super Saiyan 4s could reach up to 5 mil defense range. Like there's a difference. Like they, you know what I mean? Like they don't need as much reduction as Zamasu because they don't get the high of a defensive stat as this guy, not him, not Goku Black specifically. This guy, he gets like 8 mil defense stats. He doesn't need like 60% reduction plus guard. Obviously, you know, he has guard and 10% reduction because guess what? He's a brand new summonable LR. Unlike the Super Easy that's meant to be just an extra addition to the team. Like you guys kind of like the damage reduction number itself doesn't matter. Do not be fooled by the number of damage reduction. The most important thing is the actual defensive stat. And maybe if they have other abilities like a nullification, you know? Like Goku can nullify every single super. Most characters don't have an ability like that where you could just straight up like nullify every single super. Even Gogeta, the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, it's specifically Ki Blast supers. Like it's not common nowadays to get a character that nullifies every single type of super attack as well, which is a very important thing to know. Like think of Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the Omega Shenron fight that's out right now. I mean, I would argue that fight might be just the second hardest fight in the game. Goku is going to be a killer there. You could put Goku in slot 1 there, and he could just have a 50% chance to counter Omega, right? If he's locked in slot 1, he would have a 50% chance to counter him. And even in slot 3, he would still be type advantage, right? Like, these characters are also not built to be perfect in every single event. Like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I see Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta being a better option than Goku against this Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta fight that just came out. But I see Goku being a better option in the Omega fight. I see Goku probably being a better option than Goku Black and Zamasu, but you could say Vegeta might be a better option in the Goku and Vegeta like Supreme Battle, not Supreme Battle, the Goku and Vegeta, like the Blue Goku and Vegeta fight that's also in the special battle, because like he has type advantage against Goku, right? Vegeta will always super like usually instantly, so Vegeta, like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is not going to have any trouble of getting super by him likely. Like that's another thing kind of also to kind of point out there. And again, we had Physical Kale this year. Physical Kale was able to just sit in slot 1 with just only guard, 0% reduction, but she had high enough defense to just tank everything. So I think that's a lot of things people do need to consider when it comes to these kits. I mean, again, the most important thing is I wanted to clear the misconception for the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I think that was the biggest thing, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I wanted to kind of clear things up for that guy. But yeah, tonight I do expect other EZA details for those other EZAs that I brought up. I could see, I mean, in terms of what they'll do, I'm probably not going to make like a separate video speculating for them. If their details are tonight, then I kind of, at this point, might as well just wait for their details. And I also already have this video coming up. At first, I wasn't even going to do this, but I was like, hey, you know, let me just make sure I push something out today. I've been uploading a lot of videos, so I want to make sure that I also don't overdo it for myself. As much as I love talking about this stuff, I end up talking, I mean, this video is already about to hit 30 minutes. I end up talking for so long, I don't want to like mess up my throats too much. I want to just kind of still, yeah, so after this I'm gonna get nice water. But I mean, I think we'll see, I mean, we might not see Legion of Shadow Dragons, but we'll see these 5 right here. These 2 I kind of don't care about because they're banned in every event anyways, like the Great Apes, unfortunately, because they're nuking leaders. They probably aren't gonna, like, they'll be, like, we're gonna read their kit, they're gonna look good, but then you realize they're unreusable in the new fights. So, like, it doesn't matter. unfortunately. When we get the longer, like, 4-phase fights, these two will actually be usable, so maybe they have, like, some sort of stacking abilities. We'll see. These three I'm interested in, though. We'll see. I mean, GT Heroes, I think the most important thing about the GT Heroes team is that I feel like it's good enough top heavy already. Like, we have a lot of strong top heavy characters. The Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Goku and Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku. I would say the EZA Super Saiyan 4s are pretty good. This guy eventually will get an EZA in a couple of months. But, like, I think, like, some extra options added to the team, like, on the vein of, like, S tier Pan, or, like, even these two right here, just having extra potential options for these different fights could be useful. But anyways, we'll see. Appreciate y'all for watching. AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is actually pretty, I would honestly say pretty good. I'm a fan of him now. So him and Goku, I think they did a good job with these EZAs, man. Really awesome. But anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.